Welcome to the Chiropractic and Legal Injury Podcast, recorded live at our events. We're here bringing you the expertise, insights, and tools you need to navigate the world of personal injury care and to uncover what you didn't know about car accidents. It's no accident you're listening today, so let's get started. Hi, I am Ashley, and we are recording live here at the Chiropractic and Legal Injury Conference. We are so excited to be here and do this podcast. I am very excited about our next guest. I can't wait to dive in, and so let's do it. Welcome.
Yay, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I've been looking forward to this one all day long.
I like it. Me too.
Very excited. Let's start off by just telling everybody a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I'm Toshia Palermo. I do home and auto insurance. I'm an independent agent, so that means I work with lots of different products, not just one carrier. So I can really advocate for the client, not the carrier, which is awesome. But do you want to know like the essence of who I am?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
I figured you do. So really, the thing about me, no matter what I've done, is the mix of curiosity and also hard work. A little grit along the way too.
Yes.
So being curious, that has been something that's really important to me. Early on, I learned that I like helping people.
Yeah.
And so no matter what I've done, whether it's personal or professional, I kind of keep that foremost in like my goals. How can I help someone? And, early on, I learned every single person we meet, they have a story.
Yeah.
You have a story, I have a story, and everyone I meet has a story. It's unique to them. So I want to know what that is. I want to know what their story is and what makes them tick and what makes them who they are. And really, until I get that, how could I help them?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I want them to get a little bit of who I am along the way.
Sure.
Probably the proudest title is a mom of 2 grown daughters that I adore. They're like my walking heartbeat outside me. Oh. I adore them. I'm a wife of tomorrow, 34 years.
Congrats. Oh my gosh.
Thanks. And I'm authentic.
Yeah.
I'm a straight shooter. So I'm never going to take advantage of someone. I want to, tell them how it is in a kind, tactful way. I'm genuine. So hopefully people get the sense of that along the way as well.
Absolutely. And I can absolutely back up all of those things.
Thanks.
100%. And curiosity is a huge thing for me. And I think it makes you so powerful to be able to be in that advocate place, which is another word that we've really talked about, for the patient or the client and understanding their story. Like maybe they don't need all the same things and you're not just trying to sell them something to sell them something. You really want to make sure they're taken care of should anything happen.
Yeah, that curiosity is really the key to my success. Yeah. Really, it's just being curious and getting to know people.
Yeah.
It takes me from selling policies to a friend or an advisor that's trusted by them, right? Because they know I cared about them.
Yeah.
And people want to do business with people who really care about them. And, so it really is the key no matter what kind of work I believe you do, but especially in my work where people let you into their lives, the nitty gritty of their life. Yeah, that curiosity is really important.
That's so amazing. And speaking of curiosity, I know that a question that I get asked a lot is kind of about people when they get into a car accident. Is that a good time to look at their insurance policy and maybe make a change?
That's a great question. I get asked that a lot too.
Oh.
It can be. What I would say as a caution or maybe kind of a first step is to know something about your current situation and how it impacts your current policy.
Okay.
So you want to get all the facts, whatever this accident or loss has been. When I say facts, I mean things like police report, photos, all the documentation. Because what you want to know is how this really affects your current policy, how this claim would affect your current policy.
Yeah.
So if you're at fault, guess what? Pretty much your rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
Most of the time. However, you could have in your policy things like accident forgiveness. So would it be a good time to change? No, not if you have accident forgiveness, right? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But in general, it is a time that people naturally take a fresh look at their policy. It could be that you recognize through that loss, hey, I actually need more Medpay because I had higher medical bills than I expected and maybe a higher deductible that didn't cover that. Or maybe I do need rental car coverage. That could be something that's necessary too. So it can be. However, I will say this, accident or not, I am a staunch advocate of regular, systematic insurance reviews.
Yeah.
Life changes.
Yeah.
Circumstances change, right? Maybe you have an addition to your family. Maybe you have a subtraction to your family. Maybe you have a new hobby that presents a new exposure that you don't even know about. Maybe you have a new driver or a new car. So if you're my client, we're going to chat about life a lot so that
Yes.
I can know how I can best help you.
That's such an amazing thing. And also it really helps them again build that trust even more because you're really part of them protecting their own life and their loved ones and heaven forbid again, knock on wood, you get in a car accident.
Yeah.
Being able to protect your family and anyone that's in that car.
Yeah.
Yeah, a really big thing that we've also been talking about is like underinsured and uninsured because many people have gotten in a car accident and the other person didn't have insurance.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that I know at least I've looked at,
Yeah.
do I have it and make sure that no matter what happens, my family's taken care of.
Yeah, it's one of the main policies or main coverages in your policy that I really say you should examine on a regular basis. I cannot tell you how many times I look at a policy for a prospective client
Yeah.
and they've declined that coverage. And oftentimes it's they just don't even know
They don't.
what it covers or they're trying to save money,
Yeah.
not knowing that they're really putting their entire future at risk. Actually, can I tell you a story about
Please.
that? Okay. This story, it's actually hard to talk about, if I'm being honest. It's heartbreaking. A client I met about 3 years ago, unbeknownst to her, she had state minimum. She was trying to save money.
Yeah.
So she's following the law, state minimum, not adequate coverage.
Yeah.
And she rejected uninsured motorist coverage. She had no idea what that really covered.
Yeah.
So I went over coverages. I kind of explained why they're necessary. And I gave her some things to put on her consideration list.
Sure.
So when she chose to work with me, we were able to double her coverage and save her money at the same time. And of course, get her uninsured coverage as well. I wasn't thrilled because it's still a lower level of coverage than I'd like to see my clients have.
Sure.
But I thought, okay, she saved money and we've doubled her coverage. So we've improved her situation, right?
Yeah.
So on the first review we had, we discovered that we could actually double her coverage again and save her money by switching to another carrier. So now she was up to 100, 300.
Wow.
Here's where the story is interesting. On the next annual review, which was just last year, I found out just by our conversation, she was going to have a new driver in the house. Her son was getting licensed.
Oh.
So I automatically need to discuss, like, this is one of your biggest potential risks, right? It's a youthful driver. They're inexperienced. The rates are high for a reason.
Yeah.
They're pretty risky for the insurance company to take on.
Yeah.
So I talked to her about that risk. And I suggested, let's double your coverage again. And she's like, I'm not sure. She's a single mom, if that was going to be affordable. But what we found is by looking at all different options,
Yeah.
it was just a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
And so I strongly, made that suggestion. She decided to do it. Here's where the story is super heartbreaking. And like I said, it is really hard to talk about. 3 months after that review, just 3 months later, her son and his friend were coming home from a ball game. They were stopped at a red light, doing nothing wrong. But they were rear-ended by someone that was speeding. They were going 103 miles an hour. Wow. Her son and his friend were instantly killed. Oh. And I mean, honestly, it's tragic. As a mom, it's unimaginable. It's unimaginable. And the at-fault driver, no insurance, uninsured. Uninsured. So, I mean, obviously the first order is compassion and outreach in any way you can, right?
Yeah.
You just be there for that client in any way you can. But a few months after this event, when she had time to breathe and she was able to exist, she told me how grateful she was. She said, just 3 months earlier, I had half that coverage. And if you hadn't talked to me about that, and really when I met her 3 years ago, we took her protection and we took it times 10. If that had happened under her old policy when I met her, she would have had no coverage. Oh. And granted, Ashley, there's no amount of money that will ever undo that damage, ever,
No.
right?
Yeah.
But it did allow her to have some time off work to grieve.
Yeah.
It did take care of some expenses that she could have been like further burdened with.
Yeah.
So I felt just really humbled that I was able to just do a small part in just educating her and helping her see what options were available.
Yeah.
That's how important that coverage is.
So important.
Yeah.
That absolutely. As a mom, I felt that. I said, like, the moment you said it, I just,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And, I think we've talked about this before, but I used to tell people working at a personal injury law firm, like, drive safe, drive safe, drive safe. But the thing is, you can drive safe and still some crazy person is driving 103
Yes.
miles down,
Yes. Her
and
son was driving safe.
I know.
He was doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of great advice. Do you have anything else that kind of you wish everybody knew who ever got in a car accident? Just maybe beforehand, or one little tidbit that you're like, hey, I wish everybody knew this.
Yeah. I mean, really, the biggest thing I would say is to review your coverage. And, a myth is kind of like the cheapest policy is the best policy.
Yeah.
And listen, who wants to pay more for something that we are forced to buy and we never want to use?
Right.
Nobody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I know that money has to be part of the equation. It does come in, our budget comes into play.
Sure.
But really, with some creative work, those core coverages can be affordable.
Yeah.
It's knowing how to take advantage of some of the discounts that are available, or what could we do, to what deductible levels might we look at. And as far as an accident, it's interesting. I give people tips and tricks sometimes, collecting all the data from everybody, even video data, photos. But I was just recently in an accident a couple months ago, and I did nothing that I advised my clients to do. I was so frazzled
Yes.
and so caught off guard
Yep.
that I did nothing that I advised my own clients to do. So
Yeah.
it's really easy to say, on paper it looks good, but having somebody like a personal agent
Yeah.
that you can call and say, I just got in an accident, what do I do?
Yes.
Having that reinforcement,
Yeah.
I could have used someone in my corner at that time, right?
100%.
So that's really helpful. I can give them tips and tricks.
Yes.
But sometimes it's a very emotional thing.
It is.
I mean, physically sometimes we're hurt, and it's devastating to be
Yeah.
in an accident. Even the benign accidents. It's just really traumatic. So having someone in your corner is really helpful.
100%. And that experience that you had, it just makes you so much more powerful of an advocate for all your clients, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, listen, I've been there. It happened to me, and this is absolutely what I would recommend as a mom too. Like,
Yeah.
once you have a kid,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing. This conference is really to facilitate better understanding of all of the different practices and all the different areas and kind of personal injury from intake to settlement and insurance. So, how do you think that insurance coverage really also maybe affects the providers or the patients or like just their whole care?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because it affects it in so many different ways. And I can speak to this as being a patient and also the provider aspect. For one thing, having comprehensive, correct coverage, it really allows you to get treatment without delay.
Yeah.
So when that coverage is there, then the provider can just focus on the treatment plan. Instead of getting pre-authorizations or negotiations, they can just move forward and zip you through and get you treated right away.
Yeah.
So that's one way. Another way it's really helpful on both ends is just financial transparency. When you know what the coverages are and it's really clear, the patient understands, hey, this is my financial responsibility, and the provider can give very clear, easy to understand estimates of cost out of pocket.
Yeah.
So that way there's an agreement on that treatment plan. There's no murkiness and worry about unexpected bills. And then the other thing I think it's really helpful with, sometimes an accident requires specialized care. So it could be some sort of rehab. I know for myself, I'm in physical therapy 3 times a week. So physical therapy, or sometimes long-term care, depending on the severity of the accident. And so the right coverage kind of gives the patient a broad spectrum of treatments that are available to them.
Yeah.
And again, instead of the provider getting tied up in all sorts of red tape and financial resistance, well, they can just move to the best treatment for the patient instead of worrying about all that other thing. So, I mean, when insurance is something that is set up to work for the patient and the provider, it really just promotes good communication. The patients do better. They follow through with their treatment plan.
Yeah.
They heal better.
Yeah.
And it just promotes a really good cooperative relationship and builds trust between both.
And it's one less thing to worry about, right?
Exactly.
As you were talking about that, the extra bills or the worry about out of pocket or what is this going to cost me? And also I need to make sure we're grocery shopping or doing all these things. Like having that kind of relief of like, I'm taken care of. I can focus on healing, or I can focus on healing my family or whoever needs it. That's really important.
That's important. Yeah, I know what it's like to worry. Is this covered or is it not covered?
Yeah.
Right? So just having those really clear demarcations are really important.
And not the extra worry on top of the trauma.
Exactly right.
There's already enough.
You have enough
there.
to worry about. Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Yeah.
Do you have a story that's like really impacted you in a positive way that kind of keeps you doing what you're doing and doing so awesome of a job at it?
Well, I think that helping people like the story I mentioned is something that really it humbles me, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with people at some of their worst moments of life, but I'm also with them some of the best moments of life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I got a text message from a mom that said, "Hey, Toshia, the wedding was the most beautiful ever." And I said, "Well, I didn't see any proof of this." Then the daughter, who's also my client, sends me a video. And then the grandma chimes in and says, we were really excited. Thank you so much. So taking care of generations of people at their time, you know, getting married is another time we want to have a look at our policy, right? Because we're combining households. So, I mean, that's pure joy to have generations I can take care of and celebrate with them, these wins.
My gosh.
So it's tragedy I get to walk alongside clients with, and it's joy. And it's so really, there's just a real human element to what I do. Insurance, boring. But people, they're inspiring, they're motivating, knowing I can do something to help. Listen, insurance, not only is it boring, it's complex, right?
Oh, so complex.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times I hear, I'm embarrassed, but I don't even know what this means. I don't even know what I need. And I say, no need to be embarrassed. That's why you have me.
Yeah.
I can kind of jump in and do insurance 101. I can break down complex, you know, concepts or terms and make it really user-friendly and simple. And so whether that person decides to work with me and become my client or not, I feel like I've empowered them to make really wise coverage choices for the rest of their life. And they're so grateful.
Yeah.
And so really that is kind of what inspires me. And then I get to work with partners and colleagues that, you know, they're hardworking, they're dedicated, they're passionate, and they know that they're working toward the greater good of people. And so it's kind of a sense of community as well. Like that inspires me. It's like a pep rally for myself to be really engaged and excited.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll have to tell you, even though insurance is boring, it's exciting in this way. It's challenging. It's a new challenge every single day.
I bet.
Because, I mean, I like to problem solve. I'm a good problem solver. There's no shortage of complex problems to solve with insurance. And the really cool thing is it's innovative and it's adaptable because there's new emerging risks. Think about it. We have autonomous vehicles now.
Yes.
We have driverless technology. That's just one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go on and on about the new emerging, you know, we've seen the home sharing, the car sharing, a sharing environment. So how does then insurance really account for these coverages and what happens when someone comes in to rent your house for the Super Bowl weekend? See, those things they're innovative, their insurance has to adapt. And so it really keeps me jazzed because it keeps me on my toes and keeps me learning.
I was just going to say it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
And I love the aspect of learning that you were talking about and education. I feel like, again, this conference is exactly that. You know, the more that we can educate people and be on the same side and understand that collaboration transforms care and be transparent. And, you know, sometimes doctors, right, may not be comfortable or feel, embarrassed to ask a question that,
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of people know. And
Yeah.
so coming to these seminars and being able to listen and really level up what your knowledge is for personal
Yeah.
injury care, and then just show more collaboration, it only is better for the patient and the client to treat and get care and get taken care of and have multiple advocates for them.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm just like a second set of eyes on your policy.
Yeah.
So even if we find that hey, you're in a good situation, this makes sense,
Yeah.
I'll give you some things to put on your consideration list so that you can level up your coverage, and you'll also understand and know how to use it best.
Yeah.
And so no obligation, that's my job, is to help people, and it pays back in spades.
I believe it. That's amazing. Yeah. Okay, so last question. What is something maybe your clients don't know about you? Something you do for fun or on a lazy day in the weekends?
Ooh, there's so many things.
There's a list.
Yeah. Wine, travel, and family is my jam on the weekends. However, something, my clients would probably suspect that. I think they know I'm a mom, and that's my most fun job. But they probably don't know this. I really love Big Trash Day.
Big Trash Day.
Big Trash Day. It is something I love, because I've been known sometimes to drag something home that has a really good shape, refinish and repurpose it, and you never would know. So I like myself some Big Trash Day. That's probably something they would never know.
That's amazing. And also, I was like, do you like getting rid of stuff on Big Trash Day?
I mean, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to do that. I can't, one in, one out. I think that's the policy. But no, I love it. I love bare bones and being able to do some fixer-uppers, and you just never would know that was out of someone's trash.
Do you have a favorite thing that you've ever done?
Well, I have a story where my daughter, apparently I woke her up from a nap, and there was a really squeaky dolly involved in getting the coffee table from around the corner. But it was kind of like a 1980s coffee table that really looked bad, but I love the shape of it. So I refinished it, and it's kind of like a bluish turquoise color. It goes beautifully in my loft. And it's super cool, modern. You'd never know it was from the 1980s, old country before farmhouse was chic again.
Do you take before and after photos?
You know what? Not as much as I should.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
I have a few.
Okay, we'll definitely have to see that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all this information. I think it's so powerful to be able to let people know that these are important things, and this is really protecting them and advocating for them.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was an absolute delight.
Until next time,
Thanks
for listening. From all of us at the Lazzara Law Firm and the Chiropractic and Legal Injury Conference, thank you for listening. We hope you never need us, but if you or someone you love does, know they'll have a team dedicated to helping them rebuild, recover, and reconnect with what matters most, their loved ones and the life they deserve. This is the Chiropractic and Legal Injury Podcast, where knowledge is power and collaboration transforms care. If today's episode opened your eyes, share this episode with your network and help spread the word about the realities of personal injury care. Follow us on social media to keep learning and connecting with this incredible community.